I haven't made my little intro transition thingy for this video yet, so hopefully the final product conveys my sentiment and message about this feeling of immense guilt of being far away from home and your family. So I was born and raised in Shanghai, China, and now currently actually that's redundant, and now I live in Los Angeles, which is pretty far from Shanghai, China. I was actually back in Shanghai a week ago, and I was procrastinating unpacking for my following day's long journey back to Los Angeles. So I've been living in Los Angeles since 2020. So I've built a life here, I made friends here, my boyfriend's here, so I feel like this is kind of my second home. And I've been in the United States for a while. I came here for high school, and then I just kind of stayed ever since. College, got a job, and I've been here for 12 years. So back in the school days, I had holiday breaks, so winter break and summer break. I devoted all those break times to visiting my grandparents and my parents and families, aunts and uncles, cousins in China. So I actually get like 3+ months out of a year to stay in China. So that wasn't bad. Like I get a quarter out of a year in China. So it wasn't that bad at all. But 2020 hit and everything changed. I think everything changed for a lot of people in 2020 when COVID happened. Personally, for me, plane ticket prices skyrocketed. And also international flights were reduced. And then for China specifically, upon entry, you need to do a hotel quarantine up to 14 days. And all the expenses are out of pocket. So it's expensive on top of expensive. And I also had a full-time job, even though they offer unlimited PTO, unlimited, it just seemed impossible to go back home and visit. But now thinking back to it, I really should have been like, fuck it, and then just go home and be with my family. But yeah, I didn't. And then I lost my grandpa on my mom's side in 2022 amidst COVID, and I haven't seen him for like 3 years. The last time I saw him was in 2019. And then I lost my other grandpa last year, 2024, in July. And fortunately, I did get to see him in March, and I actually spent like a good month and a half in Shanghai, and I visited him a lot. And I'm so glad that I made the decision to take a break. From corporate America to be at home. But now I only got my grandmas left. And during my more recent visits home, I did notice how much older they are compared to the grandmas in my memories. Because like in my memories, my grandmas are forever in their 60s, and like they were in their prime in their 60s. They get tired faster. We can't really just like stroll around the city anymore because they need like a bench to sit on every 5 minutes. So yeah, like the health decline is really noticeable. But then again, in my head, part of me still believes that my grandmas are gonna live forever. Like they don't die till I die. I actually grew up with my grandparents on my dad's side. They raised me from like 0 to 7. I'm especially close to my grandma on my dad's side. We were together every day from 0 to 7. We woke up together to the sound of morning news every day. We ate every meal together, and then we fall asleep to like the staticky sound. Um, Actually, kids nowadays they don't even know. Let me look it up. You know, like when TV used to end back in the days. So back in the day, when TV programs ended, the screen would be filled with a grainy, snowy pattern called static, accompanied by static noise, signifying that the station has signed off and there's no active broadcast signal anymore. So TV used to end. Yeah, crazy, right? Okay, so I was not done just yet, but the sun went away. Actually, I came back after I moved inside, but anyways, I'm just gonna stay here and finish talking because I'm so jet lagged, my brain cannot function right now. But guilt, immense guilt of being away from home. So being in, living in the United States for 12 years, it is a very interesting experience because over here, there's the concept of individualism, even like hyper individualism, but within Chinese culture and within the core of my values, filial piety, 孝顺, that's what we call it. Like being there for your family has always um, been a part of my identity. And honestly, I think individualism is good. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with building your own life, even when it's away from your family. But I think it should be a spectrum. Again, everything should be a spectrum. So you have hyper individualism and then hyper filial piety, and then we have to find a point in the middle where you're the most comfortable with. And filial piety, I feel like I should read off the definition a little, um, just so everyone knows. So filial piety highlights the more responsibility children have towards parents and grandparents. Basically to take care of them externally, physically, and internally, like emotionally, being around, being there when, for their every need, basically. So my feeling of guilt stems from this perceived inability of fulfilling this cultural expectations from afar. Um, and I don't know if I'll ever stop feeling guilt, but maybe I can try and ease this intensity a little. So there are some things that I am either already doing or I am going to do to try and help with my guilt. And I don't know if anyone else, I'm not really in a position to give any type of advice to anyone because my life is honestly, well, my life is not a mess. I shouldn't say that, but I definitely don't have it together. So I shouldn't be giving any advice to anyone, but these are just the things that I'm doing and going to do. First of all, simple, straightforward communications. And when I say communications, of course, like I use WeChat. Like my goal is to message my grandmas um every day or every other day because I used to like never really message them. It's like when my parents call me or video chat me and my grandmas are there, I would say hi. But I think it's important for us to share our lives with our grandparents because I think that's all they ever wanted. They just want to be a part of your life. They don't want to be forgotten. They don't want to be left out. Sharing more of yourself. Be more like the little you and tell your grandparents absolutely everything. Just tell them everything. And I've been a lot better at that. I send my grandmas what I eat every day. I tell them about what I did over the weekend. Sometimes they don't reply. They got a life too. Grandparents got a life too. But I'm doing my part of including my grandmas into my life as much as possible. Um, and I do think they appreciate that. And number two, quality visits. Like I mentioned, I do have a full-time job, even with unlimited PTO. It's hard to spend a long period of time in Shanghai, China. There's some technical issues with like trying to work from there and whatnot. But again, with return to office, it's really hard to spend a long period of time with my family. So, what I'm doing is that I'm going to visit more frequently, hopefully 4 times a year, and around a week or a little bit over a week each time. So, I want my grandmas to feel like they are seeing me, you know, like every quarter, like they're seeing me every couple months. That's how I want them to feel. I want them to feel excited about me coming to visit very soon next time. And when I'm, you know, back home with my grandparents, when I'm back home with my grandmas, I do try to spend as much time with them as possible. We started doing city walk with my grandmas. It's a very specific like Shanghainese term, but it's not in Shanghainese, it's actually in English. That's like how people call it, like city walk. You basically just like walk around the city, you stroll around the city, city walk. And I've been doing a lot of city walking with one of my grandmas, and then we also take short trips. My grandmas, they can't really handle longer trips anymore, but we would take short trips to like a nearby city, and we would drive there, stay overnight. Then I would share a room with my grandma on my dad's side, and then we would just chat and talk, and again, wake up together to the sound of the morning news, and then fall asleep together to, well, like TV programs, like TV stations, they don't end anymore, so we would just fall asleep to whatever's on the TV. My grandma usually falls asleep first, so I would turn off the TV, and then we would go to sleep together. Number three is creating new ways to care for your grandparents, for me, grandmas, from afar. So for me, I what I'm doing is to encourage my grandmas, like constantly encouraging them to find new hobbies or pick up old hobbies, to do their annual checkups, to take better care of their health, to take better care of their teeth, just to take better care of themselves overall, because it is, I get like people have different personalities, but it is very hard for old people to feel optimistic, especially when the people around you are dying. Like, for my grandma on my dad's side, she had four siblings, and three of them passed away, and one of them had a stroke and really barely remembers. She barely remembers my grandma, and it's so hard on them emotionally. So I think encouragement is really important. That's one way of caring. And then also just like book things for them. In China, like everything happens on WeChat. Buy things for them, book things for them. If you want, your grandparents to try out like a physical therapy program, just book for them. Um, if you want your grandparents to start reading more, just ship the books to them, So that's what I've been doing. So number 4, 5, and 6 is, do you guys do 6 like this? We do 6 like this. So 4, 5, and 6 is things that you can do for yourself, to manage your guilt and manage, all those intense feelings. And one of them is volunteering. I really, this is something that I'm going to do. I have looked for volunteering opportunities, and I did find one which is a reading program for the elderlies at nursing homes. So you go to a nursing home and you would read books with them. Like you get to pick your own books, you get to make your own reading schedule with the elderlies. For me, I'm especially interested because at that specific nursing home near K-Town, I think, they have a lot of older people who are Chinese and who only speak Chinese. So they wanted someone who can speak Chinese and read Chinese books with them. But uh, I didn't end up doing it. Like I had a lot of travel plans lined up, and then they kept pushing back the start date. So I didn't end up doing it. I should have. I'm going to find something else because I really think I need to do it. that's something that I need to do to feel more fulfilled, I guess. Number 5 is practicing mindfulness. I found this meditation, which is like, I think it's called loving kindness meditation, where it's not, you're not just like sending love and kindness and happiness to yourself, but you're also sending love, kindness, and joyfulness to people around you, to other people. So I've been doing that, and I always keep, my grandparents in mind. You're supposed to like send all the good vibes to yourself, um, someone you're close to, an acquaintance, and someone you hate. So I think it's a good practice. Like, we should just be more loving in general. And then last up, number 6, personally, I've tried therapy. Not a big fan of it, but then again, my therapist is a white lady, so maybe like I didn't really find the right person for me. But professional support is always a route to go with. Like if you're really struggling with the guilt, if it's really keeping you up at night, talk to a professional, find out some actionable solutions that can actually help you. Like if it's affecting your everyday life, definitely seek professional help. That's my lunch break. This is my entire lunch break. I should get back to work. I really should get back to work. Okay. Getting back to work.
有可能是的，就废了，就。